tensions between the U.S. and Iran simmer, a new report by the Daily Beast, get this, claims that former Obama officials are reportedly talking to the Iranian government and urging them to stay calm and, quote, don't take Trump's bait. So should we be concerned? Mark Dubowitz is an advisor to the Trump administration and Congress on Iran issues and CEO of Foundation for Defense of Democracy. He joins us now. Mark, good morning. On its face, you've got a president in President Trump he scrapped the Iran deal, trying to put maximum pressure on their economy. And you have former Obama officials with direct lines to the Iranian government. How is this okay?
Pete, it's not okay. I mean, you would think that former Obama administration officials would be standing side by side with the current administration against the threats from the Islamic Republic of Iran. And those are serious threats. I mean, we've got multiple intelligence threads showing that the Islamic Republic is threatening U.S. diplomats, U.S. soldiers, U.S. allies. You would hope that they would be standing shoulder to shoulder with the U.S. government on that. They're not. They're back-channeling with the Iranians. Yeah,
the Iranians, the biggest state sponsor of terrorism in the entire world. We don't want them to get nuclear weapons, so we're putting pressure on them because the previous administration made a bad deal. Yet here's a quote from that article, a little bit more color on the story. It says, 3 Obama officials who worked closely on the Iran nuclear deal, you could probably guess who they are, one of whom is still in touch with Iranian government officials, traveled to Capitol Hill to brief congressional Democrats about the situation. Those former officials said they would not say if they passed information from the Iranian government officials to members of Congress. So you effectively have a go-between between congressional Democrats and the Iranian regime, which is promoting terrorism. This administration is trying to stop them. They're being undercut.
Well, that's exactly right, Pete. And the problem, of course, is these former Obama administration officials are giving the Iranians bad advice, and they've been giving bad advice from the beginning. They've been telling them for 2 years to wait out the president, that he's going to get impeached, to wait him out, he's only going to be a one-term president, and not to worry that U.S. sanctions are not going to work without the Europeans and multilateral support. Well, they've been wrong, wrong, wrong. And now the problem that they're realizing, and the Iranians are realizing, is that President Trump could be a 2-term president, and this maximum pressure campaign is really squeezing the regime economically, politically, and the United States is also establishing military deterrence in the Middle East for the first time after 8 years of President Obama giving the Iranians everything they wanted.
Mark, it's one thing for a politician or a candidate or a member of Congress to go overseas and give a speech that maybe questions the foreign policy of our president. It's a whole other thing to make backroom deals and have private conversations with current officials to try to undermine your own government. Is there precedent for this kind of thing with Iran?
Look, I don't think there's precedent. I mean, I think that elections have consequences, and I think in the past people have realized that if you lose an election, the next administration gets to set that policy. Now, you may criticize that policy. You certainly could go out there and exercise your free speech rights in the United States, write op-eds, come on Fox News and condemn that policy. But to go out and actually deal with the Iranians, back-channeling, trying to undermine the current policy, I think is outrageous. And again, I'm not even sure they're dealing with the right Iranians. I think they're dealing with Javad Zarif, who's the current foreign minister, who's got no power, Hassan Rouhani, who has got no power.
Very briefly, Mark, our current policy on Iran, is it getting us closer to making sure they never get nukes?
Pete, it is. I mean, the maximum pressure campaign right now is denying this regime the funds they need to support terrorism, to support their nuclear program and their missile program. And for the first time in a long time, we see this regime back on its heels, facing an economic and political crisis.
Good to hear. Well, with friends like these Democrats in the Obama administration, who needs enemies? Mark Dubowitz, thanks a lot. We appreciate your time this morning.
Thanks so much.